So question came up. I have done your home pulling exercises. I bought resistance bands and dumbbells online. I think I need more pulling exercises because I can't do the door pull-ups. Even the inverted rows, I'm having a hard time. What do you suggest? Okay, so this is a very fair question because most beginners really can't actually do the inverted rows properly and they can't even pull up, especially if you're super overweight and you're super over fat. Then that extra weight is really going to make you struggle in this body weight movements. So I don't intend to have a part 2 of this because I want, people to stick to the very basic movement, which is, rowing and pull-ups. But that's a fair question. If I'm a total beginner and I can't even do pull-ups, what can I do at home? Okay, especially if I bought these bands and all these tools I have at home. What movements do I do at home? Simple, short answer, if you can't do pull-ups and inverted rows on your level, and if you don't have any bands at home, okay, you can use everything. You can use rug, you can use, or any other type of cloth. You can use chains if you don't have bands like these. Okay, you can use, if you don't have chains, you can find a rope that is pretty stable and you can do pulling with it. Or the very common you see in my videos is using a band, okay, as a form of dumbbells. Most of us need more pulling than pushing movements. I've said this and I will repeat it again. I am going to give you what you need, not what you want. Look, everyday life, we use our frontal muscles all the time. The back muscles are always neglected. Okay? Look, if you look at everyday life, you're always like pushing something, a door or something, or lifting something up, a box or a cooking utensil, or we sit at the computer every day like this. So what happens to our posture? You do this. That's why you see most gym goers, gym bros, are always like this. This is the default of an average gym goer. Every doctor will tell you that bad spine alignment will affect over time your overall health. Adults today are sedentary, working on their computer, looking down on their smartphones or doing something, doing like this. Notice the position of their spine. You do this. If you're doing this all the time, then eventually your body's going to get used to this. This is what I call the gorilla posture. Okay? This results to a lot of problems. And too much pushing movements will not help. Pushing dips and push-ups and bench presses will not help this. This slouch internal rotation of the shoulders result to a lot of problems, especially chronic shoulder pains, rotator cuff problems, frozen shoulders, pinched nerves, tendinitis. Look at me. If you have these symptoms already and if you develop it over time, pushing movements will not help this. Okay, more pushing movements will only cause this internal rotation. And what happens over time when you have pinched nerves and frozen shoulders? Can you bench press? No. Okay, that's why most guys in the gym are having front delt or some delt issue or some pec tear because of their underdeveloped rear delts, rhomboids, this part of the back, okay, even lats. What's worse is this gorilla internally rotated bad posture is affecting our very health, the nervous system. We all know that the nervous system or the nerves is responsible for the communications in our body. And spine alignment is important, vital to cell communication. Your spine must be in the right position in order for you to perform well. If the spine is not aligned, problems may arise. Okay, you will not be functioning as you should. Did you know that even a few centimeters disalignment of the spine can cause a lot of problems? What problems? At first, you might not see it, you might ignore it, but one day, eventually, it will surprise you. It's worse than you thought. You start having headaches, joint pains, indigestion, low energy, back pains, chronic muscle soreness, and worse, because of the affected nervous system, even the immune system is now affected. You get fevers easily, you get viruses easily. What do you expect? The nervous system is compromised. The body is not communicating well. In fact, there's a study that shows that long-term slouching can even affect how you feel. It can affect your biochemistry. So you see, developing back muscles is not just for vanity reason, for aesthetic reason. It's for health reason. That's the first thing you should consider. Not just health, but your overall productivity. So it's super important to, especially if you don't have any equipment at home, you only have this, you focus on more on developing your back than your frontal muscles, your chest, your delts, and this area right here. It's important to also balance it with some pulling movements. Okay, before we get into the exercises, here are some few guidelines. Get full range of motion, okay? No half reps. Guys, we're already training at home and doing half reps. Unless you are limited by mobility, then you are not maximizing the exercise if you do half reps. I know people don't have bench. Why would you half squat? In the same way, why would you half row or half pull down? Number 2, be stable, stay tight, brace the core, and keep everything tight. Why? Because you'll be much stronger that way. And I think this is also the problem why people cannot do the inverted rows, because they cannot they're not used to contracting their core. What I mean by being stable is that bracing the core. It's like someone will punch you, okay? You're anticipating it. Every muscle in your abdominal wall is ready to be punched. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? Be stable. Get stable. Number 3, probably the most important, is controlling the reps. You control the reps. Don't let the reps control you. Do not use body language, momentum. Always remember our 3-1-1 versus you fitness rep principle. 3 seconds eccentric, 1 second isometric, and 1 second concentric. Meaning, in pulling movements, the eccentric part is the going back to the starting position. Okay, that's the eccentric part. The isometric part is the most contracted position, which is when you pull down, it's here. Okay, you make a pause, 1 second pause there. Okay, and the positive part of the rep or the concentric is the going down part. Again, eccentric, concentric, isometric. Okay, you can also apply this to rows. Concentric, isometric, eccentric. Last but not the least, push yourself. As in, work hard, but don't push yourself too much that you are going to get injured. Safety first, my friends. If you're feeling a sharp pain or really chronic pain, don't do it. Stop. Never push through pain. Reassess your execution of the movement. Is it right? Is it wrong? Is the angle wrong? Everything. Do I have shoulder issues? And when it's still painful, don't continue the exercise anymore. Rest, ice it, and do some mobility work. In this way, we avoid injuries. Doing these guidelines, we will be sure that the exercise is effective, safe, and it will strengthen us, not injure us. Now, if you pay attention on our anatomy and how our backs function, you will notice that pull workouts are really simple. There are only two main movements, the vertical row and the horizontal row. This will make up most of your back training exercises. It's really simple, guys. Vertical pulling, horizontal pulling. Okay, this is an example of a vertical pull. This is equivalent to your push downs at the gym. Who would have thought that a simple rug can be used as an effective equipment? A simple rug used for cleaning. The best use of this rug is its sliding capacity. That's why I use it on assisted push-ups and this. Okay, the pull downs or the push downs. Get a rug, ideally on a smooth surface. Place it on your feet or your knees depending on how strong you are. You can also place it on your hand. Either way works. Okay, if you place it on your hand like this, it will act like a cable, pull over or push downs. If you place the rug on your hand, it will act like an ab wheel roll out. Okay? So activate your lats by keeping your core tight, shoulder blades back and down as you would do at the start of a deadlift. Imagine you're deadlifting. Place your hand a little wider than shoulder width. The objective of this exercise is to position yourself fully stretching the lat all the way down where your torso is almost touching the ground. Your torso and your face are almost touching the ground. As you pull yourself back after the stretch, you will notice that the spine will collapse. Do not let that happen. Slouch and pull so that the spine stays neutral. If you don't have any equipment at home, then this is a good option for you. Next, bands. Bands mimic the adjustable cable machines in the gym. It can be high pulley or low pulley or medium. That's why it's very useful if you invest on having bands at home. I would suggest having different thickness so that you have a wider range of weights and variety of exercise to choose from, and also it customized to your fitness level. Okay, so this is the band push downs. Okay, equivalent of that rug push downs. Okay, attach the band, high pulley, step back, make sure the band has enough tension to activate your lats by keeping your core tight. Again, shoulder blades back and down as you would start a deadlift. Fully stretch the lat by placing your torso almost parallel to the ground. Position your hand close to each other at the start of the movement. Then, using your lats, pull hard and hands now wide to your side. Make a quick pause as you bring back to the starting position. Again, 3-1-1 principle. Stretch the lat again by fully extending the arm. Don't soften your spine. It should stay neutral. Although the movement is too hard, don't slouch. Okay, the spine should stay neutral. As you get stronger, to make it harder and increase the intensity, use only one arm like this and hold the bands together, supersetting it one side after another. Adjust the position of the band depending on the back muscles you want to target. High for lats, middle for the mid back, and low for the upper back. Now, after the push downs and the pull downs, the vertical pulling or vertical rowing, we proceed now to the horizontal pulls, which is this. This is very popular, face pulls. Okay, this is equivalent to the cable face pulls with rope. you do in the gym. Okay, this time it's just the cable. Okay, so the technique here is bring your elbows as far back as you can, like you're elbowing someone, in your back, at your back. Okay, I also highly recommend this for high reps. Okay, and pausing. And to make it harder, press up at the isometric. Okay, the pause, that part of the movement. Okay, the most contracted part of the movement, you press up, squeeze for a second or two, then press up, then keep everything tight, lower it down, back to the starting position, and repeat. And I tell you, man, it's gonna burn. Okay, again, this is the concentric, isometric, press. Yes, that's it. Okay, get it? So, at the most contracted part, the isometric, you press it up to increase the contraction. Okay? So, this is a 20 kg band tension. So, this is pretty heavy for me. So, this really, when I started doing this, blowed up my rear delts, which is most men are really lacking on the rear delts. Okay, so it's really good to have some bands at home, so that you can build these shoulders. Okay, not just the side delt but also the rear delt. Now, what if I don't have any band? Okay, use this. Every house has this. Or if you can't find a sturdy rope that can hold your body weight, a dog leash is available in any hardware. So we have no excuse. This also mimics your cable machines in the gym, but this time the weight you hold on now is you. Okay, it's not the weights in the cable stack. Okay, so this is the pull downs. Since this material is hard on your grip, get an old cloth or some sort of rubber to protect your arms from skin tears. This is especially good for people who still can't do pull-ups, like the question before. I can't do that door pull-ups or inverted rows. Well, now you don't have any excuse. Okay, you can do this. Okay, if you can't do pull-ups, do this. Okay, the more leg drive, the lighter the tension. Okay, the more you bend your knees, the easier it gets. The more you extend your knees, the harder it gets, the harder the tension. Okay, one of the great benefit of this is the muscle you use in face pulls are also already stimulated in this exercise. So no need to separate them. Okay, this is also like a face pull. Okay, as you get stronger, to make it harder, increase the intensity by only using one arm. Okay, like this. Okay, hold your wrist or hold on together, but pull on one side. Okay, focus on just one side. Okay, strengthening it. Okay, so this is the vertical pulling for the rope or the chains and the bands. Okay, so the next we go to the rows or the horizontal pulling. Okay, rowing. Okay, what to do? If you have a rope at home, you can do this. Okay, this is a one arm inverted row. Okay, you can do both arms, but it's pretty easy, so I did one arm today. Okay, unlike the cable, we can't be flexible on the position of these ropes. Okay, we cannot do mid, low. We can only do high. Okay, it's not stretchable, so the only option we have is to place it up high. We lean back and do our inverted row. Okay, this is like an easier version because you have the support of your legs. Okay, if you can do one arm, go one arm. You can do one arm, do two arms. Okay, so rowing for the cable, this is what it looks like. Okay, simple. I recommend twisting because it adds some tension or more tension on the rear delts. Okay, so that our spine is pulled back. Okay, so this is the horizontal rowing. Okay, and then you can also add intensity by doing only one arm. Okay,
So as you can see, the band is pretty heavy. The tension is pretty short, so I can make the 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 distance is short, so I can make it heavier. So pause at the top again, the guidelines, remember the guidelines before, and then slowly go at the bottom part. Okay? So when you roll like this, I always recommend twisting your wrist. Okay? For extra intensity. Now, bags. Okay, there are lots of use on bags. Primarily as adding extra weight on your body. And because of its handles, it can also act as our light dumbbells. But some bags, like suitcases and luggages, can hold up to 50 to 100 pounds. Some bigger ones, even more than 100 pounds. So you can use any bag or any bag, sports bag, backpack, tool bag. Okay, tool bags are really heavy. Okay, where you have, you know, the screwdrivers and the bolts and everything. Okay, so tool bag, anything that can pack on some weight, use it. Okay, so that's the pull down, straightforward. As you do your lat pull down in the gym, you just add the bag on your back. Okay, and this is the rows. Again, you've seen this on my videos, 27-inch challenge. Okay, this bag now weighs 35 pounds. So I can do like a 25 rep set here. Okay, nothing special. If I recommend this only one arm because the weight is super light already. I want to emphasize that you do these movements, you do these high rep rowings and using bags and ropes and cables to prepare you for the harder exercises, which is the inverted rows and the pull-ups. Okay, I don't want you to do this all the time as your primary movement. Okay, this is good for secondary. Okay, for doing high reps, but this is not good for developing, you know, the whole back. Okay, I would still recommend the basic pull-ups and inverted rows. Okay, that's why it's good to have a pull-up bar at home or like a levered bar that you can do rows. Okay, so keep that in mind and don't do too much of these movements, only to strengthen your inverted rows and your pull-ups. Okay, it can also strengthen your gym exercises like your pull-ups at the gym, your weighted pull-ups, and your barbell rows. Okay, your pendlay rows. Okay, so flies also self-explanatory. We do that in the gym, but this time we just use a bit harder variation, bending down. Okay, now this is some bonus exercise finishers. Okay, I emphasize finishers because this is best done high reps at the end of your big movements like your pull-ups and your inverted rows. Okay, I call this witty. Okay, why witty? You make a W and an I and then a T and then a Y with your arm. Okay, with or without dumbbell or any weight like holding water bottles, this exercise will burn. This is taking your regular rear delt flies to a whole new level. Okay? After your pull-ups and your rows, get a chair, lay on your stomach. On top of it, make sure it's high enough so you can get full range of motion. The key in this movement is the pause at the top and slow descent. Okay? Spell the word witty. Okay? Using your back and arms, that's one rep. Okay? When you get the witty, that's one rep. This is best done after a workout where everything is fatigue. Okay? This is the concept called pre-exhaust. Okay? And to make it even harder and to burn your back even more, okay, we will do this. What is that? Isometric holds. Okay, again, the isometric part of the rep is the part of the rep where your muscles are at its top peak contraction. Okay, So it's really contracted at this point. Okay, great finishers. If you can't do this, okay, do at least 30 seconds, 30-second hold. Okay, if you can't do it like this and you're still, at a high body fat level and you can't pull up and you can't do the isometric holds, your forearms give out. Okay, you can do this. Okay, get 2 chairs. Okay, average height chairs. Place your elbow and then do your isometrics. Okay, legs straight. Okay, to make it to a little bit harder, legs straight, a little bit easier, legs are bent. Okay, same concept with the rope pull downs. Okay, do 30 to 50 seconds, 3 sets. And why is this effective? Cause it's one of the causes of muscle growth, metabolic fatigue. Okay, that burn sensation you feel. After the big stuff, the progressive stuff, do this and your back will burn.
I hope this video helps you work out your pulling movements at home, and you make sure you apply this. Do more pulling movements for your health, not just vanity, not just the look of your body. It's part of it, but health is more important. And I want to leave you with this note, okay? Gym equipment is not the problem, okay? The problem is the gym commitment, okay? Exercise equipment is not the problem. The problem is the exercise commitment. Even if you have a gym at home, if you're not committed, then those weights will just rust and dust. And dust will only accumulate, not the gains. Don't get me wrong, gym equipment, exercise equipment is a good tool. But like any other tool, if you don't use the tool and it's just stuck in the toolbox, then that tool will be useless if you don't use it. That's why it's called a tool. Same with exercise equipment. If you don't use the exercise equipment, then it's useless. People ask me a lot when, I wear tank tops in the gym. Are you a trainer or are you a trainer in the gym? And I always say no. Because I'm not a trainer in a gym. I am a trainer of the mind. And you should too. You be the trainer of your mind. You versus you. Because if the mind gets fixed, then all that body goals will automatically follow. Even if all your workouts are done at home, if you have the right commitment and you know how to use the tools you have, you will still get the results you want. Okay? So I hope you like this video. Share this video with your friends. Hit that like button so that we can make more videos like this. And make sure to check out our website and our articles, versusyouFitness.com/articles. And then don't forget to check out our programs below. Bye bye. See you later. Peace. Word in the house.